When crunchy roast nuts and delicious smooth chocolate collide inside M&M's, prepare for a taste explosion!
This is an appeal from Oxfam to ask if you can give £2 a month to help some of the world's poorest people. Give a man a fish, and he'll feed himself for just a day. But give him the means to catch his own fish, and he'll be able to feed himself and his family for a whole lifetime. A cup of water might quench her thirst for an hour. But give £2 a month to Oxfam, and you'll help her dig a well, giving her children safe, clean water, protecting them from diseases which kill thousands every day. A bowl of grain could feed her for a few days, but £2 a month can provide seeds and tools, enabling people to grow food for themselves and for future generations. People in the third world don't want to live on handouts. All they want is the opportunity to work themselves out of poverty and the chance to live dignified and independent lives. With your help, we can do so much more. So please ring 0800 31 31 31 and give just £2 a month, or whatever you can afford. That's 0800 31 31 31. Thank you.
English? Oh, no.
Coca-Cola!
Yes, Coca-Cola. I'll have Coca-Cola, sir.
Sorry, this is a hardware store.
Wake up to 100% Summer 95. The hottest hits of the summer and the summer's hottest hits. All-time classic summer sounds to last all summer long. B-52s, Clock and Shabba. It's the hottest summer album ever. 100% Summer 95.
With more great holidays to choose from, it's smart to start with the new look Dalton's Weekly.
Sunpat, a strangely naughty attraction.
Because you love him, give him Caesar every day. Choice cuts of fine meats carefully selected and prepared with the vitamins and minerals he needs. Caesar, to love him like he loves you.
I'm Bubble Fairy Barbie, making bubbles everywhere. I sparkle in the sky, a fairy flying by. Let's fill the world with bubbles. Every little bubble holds a wish or two. I'm Bubble Fairy Barbie, making bubble fun with you.
I won't share a bag with anyone!
Pepperami. It's a bit of an animal.
Finding low-cost life assurance can be a tricky business, but now with Cornhill's new family cover plan, it's easy. Specially designed for people under 50, it's a 10-year policy for up to £50,000 of life cover, with payments starting from as little as £8 a month. That's just 26 pence per day. And there's more good news. Cornhill requires no medical details or tests. You just sign a simple declaration when you apply.
That sounds nice and easy.
Well, you know what to do. Call us free on 0800 44 6644. The family cover plan also takes care of you if you become terminally ill, with half the benefit paid out straight away, helping to make your remaining time more comfortable.
That's a sensible idea.
Well, you know what to do. Dial Cornhill free on 0800 446644 for written details on the family cover plan. Operators are standing by to take your call. Phone now. It could be the most important call you make today.
The Argos sale is so great!
I just can't get over it.
Are you sure you got enough there, Audrey?
Oh, these new Kellogg's bran flakes are really popular. They're so wheaty and light and nice and nubbly.
High in fibre and low in fat, Kellogg's bran flakes are now even tastier.
Of course you can't beat regular exercise. Chance to be a fine thing.
Hey, look what happens when I eat this.
Oh,
right, well, look what happens when I eat one of these. What? Just watch this! That's not funny. Wall's ice creams with added whiz-bang wallop.
Hey, light, look at me. I can see the reality.
Vanilla Kisses, new from Impulse.
Where's my fish?
You could save up to 30% on your home contents insurance by dealing direct with a company who will help you sort your claim out there and then over the phone and put things right as swiftly as possible.
horrible it was. This is the very spot, just here. The jaws...
For home contents insurance, call free 0800 28 2820. Guardian Direct.
A young Thoroughher joins Will Hay in a tale of lies, spies and mistaken identity. The Black Sheep of Whitehall strikes tomorrow at 9:30.
This is Channel 4. In just 30 seconds, how many of these classic television series can you put a name to? Maybe a catchphrase or two will help.
To she who must be obeyed.
Sit.
For the answers, turn to Channel 4 on Saturday for a season of vintage Thames programmes. Because quality never goes out of fashion.
Telling whoppers on the grand scale to win a lady, an animated folk tale from Hungary, The Enormous Lies, after the break.
Introducing new Shore 24-hour Intensive. A sure way to end the day as fresh as you started.
Get ready!
Sure, it won't let you down.
The couple next door. They seemed our sort of people. Could changing their coffee have changed them?
Made with rich Colombian beans, Maxwell House is the full of beans coffee for full of beans people.
We avoid them nowadays. We don't like change, do we, Deirdre?
Sometimes, even the ocean seems relaxed. Then it catches you. Wipe out. But it's when you hit one of those long pipelines that the feeling goes way beyond the expected. You're totally focused, surrounded by an awesome feeling of natural energy. You have to surf to feel the ocean, but sometimes I just like to listen to it.
Introducing new recipe Pedigree Chum Complete. With even more meat, even more taste, and now even more variety. You can see the difference. Meat protein for muscle, cereals for energy, and even sunflower oil for a glossy coat. and all the essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium for strong teeth and bones. Supreme nourishment with a great meaty taste. New recipe Pedigree Chum Complete.
Where do all the bubbles come from?
From Bubbleland. All aboard, mateys!
In Bubbleland we spend all day making bubbles for you to play. They're friendly bubbles and such fun. We've a matey name for everyone. There's all of us and others too. The bubbliest bubbles just for you.
The bubbliest bubbles just for you.
And here's some new matey friends.
What was that? Mother, there's a baby in the car.
I know it's ours.
Ours?
Just for the afternoon. My friend Mrs. Thomas asked me to take it to the park.
But this isn't a park.
Well, it's a car park. Over there, right by the entrance in the trolleys. See? Easy. It's all right, she's got a baby.
At Tesco, we'll do everything we can to help people with babies.
Ah, she's sweet. What's the name?
Name? Thank you. We call her Thingy. Come along, Thingy.
Would you like to change your baby, madam?
No, we're quite happy with this one, thank you.
Mother?
Tesco. Every little helps.
And it's McEnroe versus Turner, the final set, courting on GMTV tomorrow.
Now on for the art of spinning a yarn in the enormous lies.
There was once a king who had a daughter. The daughter was beautiful. The king was wise. He wanted to find a husband for his daughter, an intelligent man who would rule his lands after his death. He called together everybody who might be interested and said, "The man who will win my daughter," and they all, of course, were deeply in love with her. "The man who will win my daughter is a man who can tell the most enormous lies, a lie I won't believe. But mind you, I can believe almost anything. Lies like birds nest in my arms. Flowers come from eggs. An apple has a tree growing out of it. My head split in two and a little man came out." So one day, a farmer's son decided to come and tell an enormous lie. Well, I went to get the grain one day, shook it out of the field as usual, and it fell straight into the 4 large sacks that I had ready. Each one was 5 times as big as a house. So then I loaded them onto an ox cart, and we set off to grind the grain at the windmill. And you'll never believe what happened next. When we got to the hill, I realized that the oxen couldn't pull up all that grain, and so I examined the problem from all angles and at once decided that the answer to the problem was just to put everything back to front. No, not that way. The bags of corn pulled us up the hill, pulling the oxen behind. Then I had to look for the windmill, but it wasn't in its usual place. I looked around and saw it had gone off picking strawberries, so I called it back and it obediently hopped back to its correct position. The grain was ground as quickly as you can say the grain was ground. And my mother started turning it into bread. She went to the shop next door to buy a pinch of yeast. And soon the dough started rising. She had enough for 1 loaf. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 480 altogether by the time she'd finished. The whole family came to watch, but they were pushed out again as the dough kept rising. So that's the story of our bread. Yes, yes, said the king. I'm quite prepared to believe all that. Well then, said the farmer's son, let me tell you about my father's bees. My father has 1,014,222 bees, and he counts them every day to make sure that none are missing. But one night he was in misery. He counted his bees, but one had gone. He looked everywhere, but there was no mistake. He had only 1,014,221 bees left. Of course, I set out immediately to find the missing bee. I went to most of the countries in the world, but wherever I went, nobody could help me at all. One day, my horse fell apart, so I had to put him back together again with a sharp stick. Then I saw the bee. It was across the ocean. How could I get across? There was an obvious solution. I took a nut from a tree, paddled with one half, and used the other as a boat to chase the bee with. A fresh blossom lured it back, and of course, my father was delighted to get back the bee that he had lost. So that's the story of our bees. Yes, yes, said the king, I'm quite prepared to believe all that. Well, let me tell you about when we tried to eat our sucking pig. As you know, here in Hungary, our sucking pigs are greedy great things that look like blown-up balloons, and we call them gumboks. When we had nothing left to eat one day, it was time to kill the gumbok. So we sent off my sister to carve it up, but it had different ideas and swallowed her up. So we sent off my brother, but just in the same way, he was swallowed up. And my mother, and my father, and myself, and my uncle. My grandmother was very cross, but the gumbok swallowed her up too. So there we all were, stuffed inside the gumbok. And with the weight of all of us, the cord snapped. So it rolled off through the house and gobbled up all the people it could find, cousins and aunts and everybody. When it got out of doors, it took the hen lady and all the hens. And it went down by the canal and took all the fishermen and all the boats. And a man who was walking his dog, too. So it arrived by the goose man, swallowed up the geese, 6 at a time. Luckily, the goose man was just having his dinner, and when his knife touched the gombok, it burst open, and there we all were. So that's the story of our gombok. Yes, yes, said the king. I'm quite prepared to believe all that. It happens all the time. Well then, let me tell you about my rich aunt. She lives in a castle in the air. It's about 200 feet above the ground, I should say, on a cloud. One day, she invited me up for coffee. It was difficult to climb up there, but fortunately, there was an old spider with great furry legs. The gypsy musicians used to use it to climb up and serenade her, so I went up by the same route. Up there in my aunt's castle, there were all sorts of things going on. The animals had about a dozen eyes, and the trees couldn't stop talking. She had this enormous egg, which she got from her tame monster bird, and offered me some. But just as I was eating it, I fell inside the cooking pot. My aunt uncoiled a rope for me, and that's how I returned to land. It was made of phosphorus, though, so it was a bit warm. Yes, yes, said the king. I'm quite prepared to believe all that. Now, why don't you tell me a lie? Well, I didn't come here to tell you stories, said the farmer's son. The only reason I came was to offer you a job as my father's swineherd. What? Said the king. That's a lie. How dare you tell me such a lie? You don't believe it then, do you? So the king was as good as his word. The farmer's son married the princess, and perhaps because of the enormous lie, they had the most enormous feast. And the people danced as fast as, well, let's not exaggerate. They danced as fast as people dance. The princess and the farmer's son were so happy that, well, let's not exaggerate, they were floating on air and lived happily ever after.
Friday at 9 in Ellen, that friend who's just too friendly.
Oh, Ellen, wouldn't it be great? I would be here all the time. I'd be like a fixture in this place.
At 9:30, a friend crosses the line.
But nothing happened. Nothing. Ask Joey. You know, knowledge is a tricky thing.
At 10 in Frasier, the dog Eddie has obviously been very friendly down the park.
The miniature Eddies!
Tomorrow after Brookside on Channel 4. There's definitely a fishy aspect to Derek Cooper's culinary journey around Scotland's larder after the break.
Tonight, in Heartbeat, an emergency night call leaves Nick with some unexpected fostering and throws new light on an old case.
He suddenly jumped up, grabbed this stick thing and hit me over the head with it.
When I found the van unlocked, there on the seat, pickaxe handle.
I just hope you realise, that's all, what a can of worms you've opened here.
Heartbeat, tonight at 8:30 on ITV.
Detox antibacterial mould and mildew remover. An easy way to get rid of mildew and bacteria.
Premium scandalous for car or home?
Insurance costs stupid, just stupid.
We just can't afford it.
Totally unacceptable.
Possible solution. Premium search. Problem solved. Phone soon.
Call Premium Search on 0800 109876.
Premium Search work with top insurers, so you could cut costs, not cover on car and household insurance.
I saved a packet.
That's better.
Very happy about it.
Pretty sensational. Premium search. Problem solved. Phone soon.
Call 0800 109876. We're here 24 hours a day, every day.
This is an appeal from Oxfam to ask if you can give £2 a month to help some of the world's poorest people. Give a man a fish and he'll feed himself for just a day. But give him the means to catch his own fish and he'll be able to feed himself and his family for a whole lifetime. A cup of water might quench her thirst for an hour. But give £2 a month to Oxfam, and you'll help her dig a well, giving her children safe, clean water, protecting them from diseases which kill thousands every day. A bowl of grain could feed her for a few days, but £2 a month can provide seeds and tools, enabling people to grow food for themselves and for future generations. People in the third world don't want to live on handouts. All they want is the opportunity to work themselves out of poverty and the chance to live dignified and independent lives. With your help, we can do so much more. So please ring 0800 31 31 31 and give just £2 a month or whatever you can afford. That's 0800 31 31 31. Thank you.
On July 10th, the sci-fi video event of the year lands on planet Earth. What a rush! Stargate.
Introducing a faster way from dandruff to beautiful hair. New transformed Head and Shoulders.
If you don't want to queue, how about sitting down and taking time to choose, with someone serving you at your table? How about choosing a meal freshly cooked to order and having it served on china plates with real cutlery? How about choosing our big value meal deal? Save at least 50p on a special selection of Wimpy meals to eat with us or take away. How about choosing Wimpy? There's no better choice.
Sunday at 7:15, explore the leadership qualities of Alexander the Great.
For over 2,000 years, he has remained the first and foremost of the great commanders.
Myth or truth, the Seven Wonders.
It's the most extraordinary tale.
At 9, the lives, loves and rapid destruction of the world's coral reefs. Civilization, excavation and conservation, Sunday from 7:15 on 4.
Now on 4, Derek Cooper looks to the sea for today's dip into Scotland's larder.